anything. I just think that, you know, one of the only, if not the only competent fucking marshal.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. We'll see if I remain a marshal for much longer.
Well, I got something that probably is extremely down your alley.
Related to?
As most of the city knows at this point, our new mayor up north is planning to spend every last dime in Blaine County's budget in an attempt to have Los Santos County and or the DOJ bail it out.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's literally just going to turn into a fraud charge.
It may have already it's starting to head that way. There was a $9 million purchase of a grapeseed property.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Which one?
It's going to be...
Is Elena in possession of it now?
Yes. It's going to be like, I forgot the exact property name, but it's going to be like Grapeseed Avenue.
Grapeseed Main 14?
That may be it.
Let's see. What is that? Grapeseed Main 14 is a warehouse with 4,100 square feet. Market value is $900,000. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of tipped my hand today, so we'll see how cooperative the DOJ is for the next couple days.
Oh no! What did you do?
FOIA'd count 3 and the timesheets of all the justices.
Oh my God! Wait, is it from Michael's request?
No, it was my own observations that we have justices are appointing, or so you heard that they're going to appoint a new director, right?
Yes. Oh my God, you're doing what I'm already doing. Please keep talking, and I'll tell you what I'm working on.
So they decided that the director must be a unanimous vote, so it allows for 0 dissent.
Yep.
Also, so far, one of the justices didn't clock any hours last month entirely, didn't get paid whatsoever, and that person still is allowed to vote on everything without a single finger on the pulse of the city, allowing for no dissent, and is actively voting without any actual observations on anything going on.
My! So it's great that you say that, because as a consequence of this BAF legislation, and mind you, I've been involved in those conversations with Turner, but the DOJ was used as a vehicle to push both departments' VAF changes forward, which is, number one, not the intent of how the system is meant to work. They should be going to the mayor, right? Because when they put themselves as signatories, right, when they were actually the authors, that would mean that that would only be reasonable if the DOJ requested it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But that wasn't the case. The writers were Nakota, Ventura, Turner. Secondly, as a consequence of that writing it, that meant that they all agreed to it. So we are actually getting FOIAs for all their signatures. What were their votes? Secondly, exactly what you said is trying to get that information that you're looking at. Because we have ACRs and impeachments. ACRs for Arcadia and Faulkner for their involvement in it, but an actual impeachments for the other 3 for their dereliction. It seems like where you're kind of going down is actually on the very similar angle.
So
yeah,
I was going for, I mean, on Hart especially, it's the easiest dereliction impeachment I've ever seen. She's literally taken no cases, clocked no hours, but yet is still actively voting in panels instead of, I think if anything, when you're not actively involved in things and you're still maintaining a position that holds a position of holds a level of power that does, where you're literally participating in the selection of leadership of law enforcement, you should just not vote.
Abstain. Right.
Abstain your vote, but it's still getting voted, and it's like, okay, well, are you literally in this position just to hold power at that point? If you're not following your responsibilities. I just looking at these stats makes me really sad. I'm only focusing on the 4 justices myself, but of course that's probably going to have the side effect of, they're trying to choose a director right now, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be me because I'm going after the justices.
I don't think so either. They're going to hire. I don't know what their plan is, but it's probably going to be a cooked one.
Probably. And I don't know, because they're not around for me to ask.
Wait, you don't even have access? That's even, what the fuck?
I have the same level of access to talk to the justices that the rest of PD does.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm glad. I kind of sometimes I wish I had done this sooner, but it's.
But we also need time in order to let the evidence build itself up. It's hard to go for a dereliction case with only 2 weeks of information.
Agreed.
But I've been FOIAing all the accounts every month for like 3 months. This is my long con. I have the data, and I've been collecting it for months.
Oh my God!
I can see when they're around and things like that. If they're, buying fuel and clothes and food and what they're doing around town. If they're actually doing their job.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
This is good. Holy fuck! This is what the city needs. It's I can best I know it sounds sometimes like I'm being a little hyperbolic, saying that things are very authoritarian or oligarchian or whatever, but that's kind of where things are being chopped up. Now the rumor mill is as follows, and keep this close. Based on good sources, the belief is that the justice seat that is absent is likely aimed towards Barrett, who just started showing up again.
Yeah, who just started coming around constantly. It's
conveniently,
like, oh, there's a justice open.
Like, hey, we got a seat here. Hey, oh, look at what great work he did. Yeah, at least for the. And listen, I don't have a personal problem against Barrett, but the guy's like he's a little chick in the hen house. You know what I mean? Like,
well, hey, interestingly enough, in that same regard, their timesheets are written out by week, which is perfect. It's not by month or anything; it's written out by the week. So,
they have to maintain it.
Yeah, they maintain. They maintain 2 logs. So one is they manually clock in through an external service, which I've already FOIA'd and received the information for, which is week by week. And then there's the front desk at City Hall where they actually clock in. I had to reach out to IT.
Are you able to get that for mayors too and stuff?
Yes.
If you were able to get me that, that'd be fantastic, because I've been trying to do. I did the bonus pay for last. Before the December and before, and I had to mathematically deduce the number.
How much people have actually worked.
Yeah, but and as such, I haven't even been able to pay Tony and shit because his lawyer hours were mixed in. So, if that is possible,
I'm pushing my luck all these. all these FOIAs are going in under the reason oversight, and I'm targeting the justices. So we'll see how the justices take the idea that marshals are doing oversight on the justices.
And that's how it should be, though, right? And we should be
I should
okay
be able
with
to
that.
do oversight on that and to audit them. Like I'm auditing them, and so I'm comparing their manual clock in. They have their manual clock in where they literally click a button to clock in.
Yeah.
In like their email services, and then they also have the clock in at the front desk of City Hall.
Oh,
and I'm comparing the two of them
see.
to see if there's any, because they get paid based on the one in the email services.
I see.
But
okay.
I'm going to compare
I thought you
that.
meant some other shit. Okay.
Oh no, that is they do also have the clock in sheet at the front desk of City Hall. I just have to reach out to IT for that one. But I'm comparing the two. I'm comparing the manual clock-ins from their email system through the clock-ins from the front desk to see if they match.
I see. I mean, this is how it should be. I mean, listen, I went into this, like, keep in mind, Barrett, like, it was months until I received all those FOIAs, right? To see how, like, deep stated I got, right? But leading into that and afterwards, I always kept my I's dotted and my T's crossed, not for any other reason than to set a standard of accountability. Because if you cannot be accountable and are not open to that scrutiny, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm a huge transparency nerd. I want as much transparency as possible. I have been the biggest advocate of opening up our books and opening up everything. I'm working on a proposal right now that we have a new, I know they fucking love people where they're like, oh, we want new report types in ADW because we already have a bajillion. But right now, the records for account transfers from government accounts is fucking abysmal. The simple comment section is nothing. You can't articulate anything. And so I wanted to have them create a report type for financial transactions where if you're messing with one of the state accounts, 3, 10, 12, 5, any of those, that you must have, if you're doing a direct transfer, a manually engaged transfer from one of those, you have to write a report on it.
Oh, yeah.
And in the comment line,
I'm sure you've seen
the report
ours.
number.
I dumped the entire I had them change the banking.
Yeah, you literally put the whole spreadsheet.
Yeah, I put the whole spreadsheet because, like, the thing is, like, if you don't put in the receipts, who's to say what the fuck I sent it for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or worst case scenario, right? The people you sent the money to misappropriate it, and then they say, "Oh, but Nino gave it to me for my dog's wedding," and you can point at it and be like, "No, look, that's the sheet. There's what you said you were going to spend it on, and not on a fucking $5 million poodle or whatever the fuck." You know what I mean?
Yeah. In fact, here, this will, if you want to send this to your team, this is all FOIA information.
Okay.
How the fuck do I have you in my?
Holy shit!
All right, have them make a copy of that and share that with your team. That's the account 3 FOIA for February. So they can see that account 3 is the DOJ account. So that's, every time somebody gets fined by the police, 75% of it goes into this account.
Well, you ready for the next bit of tea in relation to this? Well, as our scrutiny increased, because we're just like, enough's enough, right? It came to light the following. And this is, oh my God. All right. So on October 6th of 2024, there was a shadow edit made. And we did not notice this until a couple days ago. That shadow edit gave the DOJ control of the state bank account. That shadow edit was made by the Director Angel back in, like I said, October.
That account number 1?
Yes. that account, when as I was told originally, and this becomes like was that information accurate or was it inaccurate? Was that this was the account owned by the entirety of the state, state, right?
Right.
And it was the one that was utilized by Mayor Maximilian Thoroughbred during his time, which eventually turned into like a unlimited supply, right? Which is why when the county accounts were made and the DOJ account was made, right, we had to do so much budgeting because we didn't have a lot of money to begin with. And obviously dipping into what was at the time like $120 million, it wasn't meant to be appropriated for us, right? Well, all of a sudden one day that line was added in. And since, and then about a month later, there was paychecks cut out of it. Now, that may seem reasonable to a degree, because maybe those paychecks were a consequence of maybe the justices weren't getting paid appropriately. Who knows? But it was kind of a one-time thing. In the last month, Arcadia and Faulkner apparently have started moving money around in those accounts. Yes. The latest of which is a $10 million transfer. So the first question is, how much is in the DOJ account? Next, why is it being pulled from the state account? DOJ has an account for a reason. Why would you ever need to pull any money out of it?
Yeah, 3 should be the Department of Justice account for DOJ needs. It's for SASM, DOJ, and for DOC.
Yep. There's a $10 million transfer from 1 to 3. I can see it. And it says something like, to make sure Sean doesn't lose his mind or something along those lines. Yes.
See, I hate that stupid shit.
Yep.
Please.
Well, you can hold them accountable.
This is why we need the reporting system. This is why we need the reporting system for financial transactions.
I would argue that we should have the reporting system, but not utilizing any descriptors is actually just as bad. If I say $5 million and I type, that descriptor is worse than what Pred put in when he moved shit around. Am I wrong? You remember the shit he wrote up?
Yeah.
That's worse. Yeah. Just saying I'm moving 10 million because it's at least
Pred put like fucking comments in there, although he put a bunch of commas and it fucked up the spreadsheets. Dear God, I hate it for that.
Yep.
Please don't use commas in your fucking comments.
Oh yeah, because No,
it breaks our spreadsheets.
Yep. It gets
you want to
worse.
fuck with marshals? Put commas in your fucking bank transfer.
It gets worse. My understanding is that the DOJ has been sending money to BCSO, to Blaine County's account.
Well, I think that's been done because they're covering the DOC payments.
Well, I think it goes beyond that, apparently.
I mean, I know I just paid BCSO $600,000 from account 3 for tuition payments for sending 2 of my marshals through academy.
See, that makes sense. I would take
I'm writing up a report about it, though.
I would take a look at it. See, that is, you're paying for services, right?
Yeah.
It's not bailout, right? Which is a whole different.
It's not just for no fucking reason.
Exactly. And now here's the next one. Is that there was a property that Arcadia and Faulkner purchased together. I don't know where that property is, but I'm on very, very, very good authority. Money was borrowed from their subordinates as well as Ventura. And now when you tie this to the VAF legislation, now all of a sudden you got problems. Because what does that sound like?
sounds like I'm thinking right now. When was those transfers made that you know of? Do you know about what day?
It would have had to have been recent because Jaina had brought it up to me. She's been pissed about it. I want to say within the last 2 weeks.
Was it for $5 million? For maybe $10? It was $10 million in total?
No, the $10 million thing is separate.
Or is it?
That's a good question. But
so
like I said, good authority
there
that
were
they...
2 properties purchased for $5 million each.
Oh. Wait, what?
I know they took a loan. They said they took a loan on it.
Yeah, the loans came from Ventura, Jaina, Sean, and God knows who else.
Yeah, and I know the total was $10 million between the two of them. $5 million each. For Procopio Drive 10 and Procopio Drive...
Is that not
12,
the...
11 and 12.
Are you thinking about the Jaina property that was purchased?
No. The Jaina property, she owns that one. That one's on Procopio, but it's further down. So 11 and 12 are duplex properties on the very west end of Procopio Drive. I'm probably way more familiar about Polito than you are. But on the very far west end of Procopio Drive in Polito, there's a duplex property. It's one building.
Yes. That's it. That's the one.
And
because it was a
that's
duplex.
Not Jaina's property. Jaina's property is further down.
Yeah.
And they paid $5 million for each half of it. So $10 million for the total property.
Wait, you don't actually think...
I mean, the numbers are lining up, aren't they?
No way. There's no way.
I mean, there's coincidence, right? But then there's
like that. Yeah.
And then there's a pattern. I mean, it might not be. I need to look further into it, obviously, but it's something to dig. I find this is what I do, Nino. I find threads and I pull, and I'm telling you that's a thread.
This needs to happen. I mean, this city needs justices that fucking, you know when you think of the fucking, the maiden statue with the fucking 2 scales, like the scales being held up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's in desperate need of that, not holding it by one end and flipping it over. You know what I mean?
Like, what happens with the marshal's office? And that'll be the one thing to keep an eye on, right? That's kind of the reason I'm telling you, right? Because you're an executive, you're a legislative body, you're one of the leaders of this state, and obviously the justices are, if I'm looking at the justices and I'm being managed by the justices, there's a potential conflict there, right? And it's not a conflict of interest. It's literally a please watch out for the signs of something going on. Is what I'm saying.
I 1000%. And trust me when I say between us, I'm already been exploring a lot of options for resolution. For like worst case scenarios. Some I think are too far-fetched to become reality. From things like the idea of a senatorship, right? Someone that oversees the legislative bodies and ensures, like, how do I say? Having oversight on making sure legislative bodies aren't crossing over each other, right? I've also contemplated that, the DOJ just needs the justices' seats. Probably should, like, there should be a bill for, like, that goes to referendum, reducing the seats to 3. And on a rotational basis, a justice must be reelected in, and that reelection is based on you can be nominated if you used to be you've held a position as justice, or you are nominated by a sitting mayor to enter that nomination ticket. But that nomination ticket also requires like X amount of time serving as a judge or whatever. You know, there needs to be a way to replenish the pool is where I'm going with this. Because if they're not voted in, there's no check of confidence, right?
Yeah. And the whole unanimous thing is absurd. Allowing for no dissension is a critical flaw in
brother,
this design.
I literally sat in a room with them and told them that you're pretty much self-reporting yourselves as a political party. And they said there wasn't a problem.
Establishing a forced, basically a good old boys club.
Exactly.
Because you're forcing everybody to agree, which means that everyone has to essentially get along and agree to things, and you're only going to put in people that you all like, which inherently forces a close-knit group of people who all think alike, and that's not what you need. Especially in the justice system, you can't all think identically.
No.
Because then nothing ever changes.
No, exactly. Right? Opinion, dissent, it leads to, evolutionary change. You need that.
Yes. It leads to considerations and options and opinions. And if you're forcing people, I mean, you're essentially, they're forcing people to give up a possible no vote. If they're not comfortable voting for somebody, but they feel obligated to move the city forward, they have to vote yes. And it looks like it's a unanimous thing. Oh, yeah, all the justices love them. They're great. And it's like, no, but they did.
Well,
and it's a built-in mechanism to suppress. It's built to suppress dissent, effectively, to suppress your opinions against the majority.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. There's another thing that actually popped up recently, which was a mask-off moment, is with this VAF legislation once again. And this may seem like a small thing, and maybe it's just me being. They didn't even follow the fucking document I spent 3 months working with them on. So for me, that was like, okay, cool. You guys aren't even fucking paying attention to your mate. The principled, like the most important document, the second most
DOJ
document.
Ignoring the law.
That's exactly it. And at that point, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Was this entire? You know what it came across as? This entire time, this is just a paycheck, right? Oh, wait, opportunity to have power and a paycheck to buy, fancy cars and houses? No, fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will, personal opinion, and I know this is me talking bad about judges and it's unprofessional of me to do this. I think it was kind of, as much as I appreciate that Jaina got that property, I think it sucked that she got it because
it was bullshit.
I really wanted a normal-ass civilian in this town to get that.
Yes, exactly. Look,
getting it to overpaid government employees.
No, yeah,
sucks.
it's fucking ass. It's absolute ass. And I like Jaina. Like, you know what I mean? At least she's fucking real. That's all. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking conflict to seize a property and then it goes in like it's crazy. I fucking turn on the fucking television. I feel like I see those stories nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck do you think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, you think, like, for a moment, somebody pause a little and be like, hey, you know what? I can be better. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I keep telling people.
Going to that auction and seeing people get $50,000 cars for $9,000, that was great.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Seeing them get outbid for a fucking house for... I picked up my Polito house for $1 million, and she got that one for what, 2.5 million or something like that.
Yeah, 2.5.
That could have gone for 1.7 for somebody a lot more. She already owned a house too. That's the annoying part. Is she owned a house?
Oh my God. It's
and so she was able to sell the other house, and I don't even know who she sold it to, but it rants.
I will say that this isn't like DOJ specific, right? The entire city, not the entire city, a good portion of the city operates on the notion of you look at someone else's plate and you say, why is their turkey leg a little bit bigger? I'm going to just yoink a little bit off of it. You know what I mean? While you got a full plate. It's just, I think, disappointing seeing that within these positions of government. You know what I mean? But, you know, we could probably talk about this all day. I think I would like to have you, me, and Michael get together tomorrow if you're available. And
we'll see. It's always going to toss it for me these days, but.
Well, how about this? Reach out. Let me know when you do have a good time, and I could try to get Michael to schedule time in around that time. I think sharing notes would be good. I think working separately on this, we're on a very similar, you know, pads, but sharing notes might be very fruitful.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, we'll see what comes up. Other than that, the only thing I wanted to see if you could push at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what your opinion is on it. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah.
I really wanted to push for DOC to have primary jurisdiction over the constitutional boundaries of Bolingbroke. Just to resolve a lot of issues with the powers and duties.
I want that. I desperately want that. I think I lost my interest transparently after Scotty kind of dropped the ball on it. I appreciate Scotty. I really do. I think Scotty's so nice that he is seeing this as him versus the DOJ and not possibly the bigger. I don't want, this isn't Scotty's fault. He's hitting, right, I think, very similar problems that I did, which is I didn't impeach, I didn't ACR because it causes a lot of headache, right? And I know that's my impression at least. Well,
it also, actually, no, I can't say anything about that.
Yeah. I think
he wasn't the cleanest. The cleanest house.
No, I mean, of course not. The guy fucking decides to bring like a fucking lifer outside, and he's like, oh, whoopsie daisy, like fucking, yeah, you're right. He's not exactly.
Oh, it's so much worse than that.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. How bad was it really? I mean, he's a cop now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, you know, everyone's got their demons, you know what I mean?
It's a pretty big fucking demon.
Okay, come on. Now you got to tell me. What's going on, Barrett? I'll keep it, I'll keep it to myself.
Just potential links to super terrorists.
Huh?
I was going to say the dumbass should get a burner phone.
Oh my.
Super terrorist.
Shut up. Like recent?
Like all the time?
What the fuck?
I didn't say anything. Yeah, it's all just, we're just shooting the shit.
Can I ask you something honestly though?
Yeah, you always can.
Everything that's happened, right? At what point do we start saying who's a bigger danger to society?
Well, I think the entire state is a big danger to itself.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm starting to get at. You know what I mean? Whether it's like this
we're kind of imploding
shit
at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you see it, but we're very heavily imploding at the moment.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, it's why I was thinking about running for the north and just combining the fucking two counties and saying, all right, we're gonna do it a different way. Everyone get in fucking line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. I think we've overcomplicated everything to a point where everybody wanted a little bit of their own piece of the pie in the system, and now we've stopped cutting it in pie shapes, and we've gone to, you ever had a pizza that's cut like in a grid shape, and so some people get the corner pieces and there's like no guts to the actual slice. Yeah.
And
And it feels like
Little
you're stuck
Caesars
with
has
half
that. I
of
think
the
it's called the
crusty
potty cut or something.
Yeah, except now we're stuck with a bunch of middle pieces that are just crust and there's no toppings, and it's kind of the pieces are getting burnt and nobody wants it, but they all have to keep going back to the same box to get a slice because that's what they're stuck with. But it's disgusting, and it's not getting eaten anymore.
Jesus fucking Christ!
We've overcomplicated the shit out of this thing, and
I don't know if
we've lost the original intent of the shit.
I agree, but I think the overcomplication is been a part of copium that other people are trying to, play along, I guess. And the reality is there wasn't that intent was never there.
Wanting to appease everybody, and everybody wanted their own little slice of the pie, and people also trying to give themselves power, and not considering the spaghetti legislation we have.
Yeah, that is true.
God, our legislation is so spaghetti.
It's gotten. Have you seen what Michael's been doing? I think that's been helping a little bit. I mean, fucking goddamn it! It goes back even to the penal code. Like, how fucking difficult was it to just have do what we've been trying 6 months ago? Like, fucking just start. We need new gun shit. Update the fucking gun shit. You know what I mean? Section. Here's the thing.
That reminds me. That was another big one that popped up recently.
Yeah.
Because it actually popped up because of your 50% thing. Your 50% thing actually highlighted some issues.
What happened?
Some conflictions. So you remember they had a document that showed all the times and fines that got edited.
Yeah.
And some of the things that they negotiated with. I mean, I have to go back and find the actual announcement where they adjusted things. The possession of Class 3 firearms, because the Class 3 popped up the other day. And in the document I had that they had me review, I need to compare what their notes are, but the document they had me review, they said that it was put in there that the new fine for Class 3 was going to be like $700,000.
Yeah.
When you reduced it to 50%, we caught somebody with a Class 3, and they got charged $450,000 for it, which implies that the original, which implies the original fee was $900,000. And I was like, well, that's not the right fee. So I was trying to go in and look at it.
Do you have the shared document still?
So I'm guessing not all their stuff got correctly converted or something. Hold on. Oh, I can actually see that. Hold on. I can actually just go into the tab and see what it's actually set at. The original thing is criminal possession of Class 3. Yeah, they have it set at $950,000.
What?
And that sheet said it was supposed to be $700,000.
Brother. Oh. Well, that's the other thing. What if I were to tell you that these fines, and I'm sure you've seen the breakdown, some of which have gone up to like 900K, right?
Yeah, some are crazy.
Now, understand...
Oh, but before I forget, while it's on top of my brain, your statistics for this weekend are going to be skewed because there was a lot of major events this weekend. So your statistics are going to be a little skewed from
my statistics
that you try to do. Yeah, you were trying to run statistics on running 50% through the weekend, but there was a lot of major events that happened this weekend, and that's going to skew your statistics.
I see. Well, the main goal of it, and I'm going to do another run probably midweek and then whatever, is... How do I put this? Right now, these fines, I think, are targeting some of the super groups.
Yeah.
And it is bleeding out. What it is causing is these super groups to become the de facto circles to turn to if you are losing your way as a civilian. If you fall into that, you cannot come out, right?
Yeah.
And so while these increase of fines, some of which are 900%, may seem like a good thing because if you're seeing the same handful of folks fucking blowing up the cops or whatever the fuck, the problem is it's actually making the situation worse, I would argue, because it is stifling those that may be smaller and less reckless. Is that kind of making sense?
No, absolutely.
And so
I mean, when you're a smaller or a mid-sized group, you have to fight and take a lot of chances. And right now, when you flop on those chances, it ruins you, and you're basically done. Have to go into servitude.
You're cooked. Precisely that. So there is an argument to be made that it's not only stifling the economy, but actually reinforcing, you know, and redirecting people towards a. You know, the wrong. It's better to have a lot of smaller groups being able to healthily be able to function in the city. Yeah, they may might be a club every so often, but you don't want them to, like, what is it? There's that group that WCS. I think they've already imploded because of the fines, right?
Oh Jesus, that was fast.
Yeah. And what are they gonna do? They get caught up once. They got $250,000. They're fucking. What are they gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either fly out the city or fucking. You know, join a super group. You know what I mean? Start grinding for
it's about establishing community here, and it's. I know that people are always like, "But they're criminals. They shouldn't be giving any leniency." But no, we really should have where like smaller groups that are only able to they're just hitting the cash exchange for the first time shouldn't get $200,000 in fines for a $15,000 payout. Because they'd have to hit it if they fail once, they have to hit it 10 more times without fail, or they're fucking ruined, and we just add to the super groups. Like you're just adding more power to the strongest gangs out there.
Exactly.
And that becomes more detrimental to the state health-wise.
Yes. So this has been that right there has been another reason why we've been on this like a bit of a warpath, is because I think we want to see some of these things get reevaluated. And instead of fines being the target, we should be rewarding investigations. Like, kick some fucking doors in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kick some fucking doors in.
Dude, cops are so terrified to do search warrants. And I get it because of all the nonsense. I mean, I'm sure you heard I had a search warrant get fucking overturned in a civil case by a magistrate and a judge. Like, you legally can't do that.
No. Yeah.
There's literally no point to overturn a search warrant in a civil suit, because the literal only thing that occurs
41-minute
in a
call.
civil suit
I know, right?
is that the criminal evidence gets thrown out.
Yeah,
but not only that, it requires a justice to overturn a search warrant, but they were just like, no, we're going to overturn the search warrant in the middle of a civil suit. Like, you literally can't do that. But two, it does literally nothing.
Well, I mean, I'm all for. I am very pro review of warrants, but
yeah, me too.
It needs to be done in a separate hearing, right? Like, and that should be
not in the middle of it's literally legislated to do that. You know, it's legislated that you can overturn them, but it requires a separate hearing, and it must be a panel of a justice and 2 judges.
Wait, so how? Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, so then how do they get legislation?
Overturned? Because they just don't care. They just do it.
What? What is the? See, that's the thing. It's like. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, what was the point of, like, what is the point of, you know, it's frustrating, right? Because, you know, back in November, we're like, we need to talk more. We need to, because there was a lot of like, I'm just going to be transparent. Nino doesn't talk to us. And I'm over here every fucking day, like 12 hours a day. Like, oh, come and talk. Like, you guys do crazy shit. They're like, Nino doesn't talk to us. Man, I didn't know you were going to fucking fly a fucking plane into a building. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to talk to you after the fucking thing's crumbling down? No, you fucking say, hey, we're looking to do this. You know what I mean? Like, like, that's why you have transparency. Everything we do. It's like, here's what I'm doing. Like, you know, hey, I'm sending this out. Heads up. You know, now you can call back. You know what I mean? But
yeah, somebody gives you shit for that. I'm just going to FOIA just your phone calls, and I'm going to show just the duration of all your phone calls and calculate.
This one's fucking 45 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, I know. Where I'm a yapper. We're both yappers. It kind of happens.
I mean, well, that's how you plan, right? Strategy doesn't just, you know, it's the difference between strategy and like a knee-jerk reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyways, with that said, Barrett, we should be in touch. Let me know whenever you're free, and I'll bring Michael along.
Yeah, and hey, if I don't get the director position, maybe I'll run for mayor of Polito. or Blaine County.
Hey, you know, hey, might work out.
I live
Not a
in
bad
Toledo.
idea.
I live in Toledo, and hell, I served 34 years in Bolingbrook for Toledo, so I mean, it is kind of my hometown.
Who knows? Maybe I'll get pissed enough and I'll push for a Senate referendum and move the marshals under the helm of the Senate. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
I genuinely think the city needs that right now. Like, it might sound like bogus, but just something that keeps shit in check. Like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? This word means this. This sentence means this. I can explain it to you in plain English. You know what I mean? That's literally, I think that's all that's needed. Well, anyways.
All right, man.
All right.
We'll get together and strategize a little bit some other time.
All right. Sounds good. You take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a good conversation. I know, like, I've always mentioned this. Barrett is